behind when they came to the start-finish line.
See Brendan Gaughan, the black and yellow car, missed the top of the S's.
Oh, around goes. Big accident. The 14 involved. Looks like Kyle Busch might have been at the front end of that. Tommy Dreese in the 14.
And this is so fast and so narrow, Rick. This is what happens. There's just no room. You see big damage on the 18 of Kyle Busch. He's going to go behind the wall. He's had enough. His day's done. The 11.
Point. Take another look at what happens.
Wow, you see the 90.
Big contact from the 90.
Yeah, you have to believe there was contact from behind or something happened. The angle at which he was heading to the wall. Severe change of directions quickly.
Drivers trying to get through after all of that took place, but the 90 got into the wall, bounced back out onto the racetrack.
Oh, and the 18 had it completely stopped until the 11 comes spinning back across the racetrack and made big contact with the left rear of the 18.
Red flag is out. We look once again. So much damage to so many cars. Again, so tight in that area. It's right along with the 11.
Look to your left. Look to your left. Clear. Back it right here. Back it down. Back it down. Back it down. Back it down. Back it down.
When you hear a driver say his hands off the wheel, when you hear a driver say he had nowhere to go,
we got damage.
Another look as they go up through the S's. Again, the 90 sideways there and then pointed back the other direction.
To a Menard barely gets by to driver's left. Look how fast these cars are coming right here at real speed.
It's so hard to tell what started all this.
There was damage to the back of the 90. Not sure if that happened prior to him getting right and into the wall or after the
first round of pit stops. It was that 2, and Paul Wolf was the first car on pit road. As you see, the 18 of Kyle Busch.
Oh, and a big contact. Came across the barrier. The 16 of Biffle involved. As is the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Austin Dillon included in this as well. That's coming out of the carousel. So much damage by the 17. Also the 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
We'll be going to the garage here, fellas.
What happened? Ryan Blaney in the 21. It was just behind him. Stenhouse Jr. into the wall. Back out. There was some contact made behind him, and then big contact from Jimmy Johnson.
I mean, from that angle, it looked like Stenhouse lost it off the long carousel. Got loose, leaving the carousel, trying to carry speed. Just got loose, and now he gets back out on the racetrack.
Heavy shot for Jimmy Johnson into the side of the 17. You see the 16 of Greg Biffle also getting into the Armco. The 3 of Dillon. We've seen some major crashes here, Jeff. Unfortunately, I know you've been a part of at least one. It's that blind sweeping corner. So we're going to see right here the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse up in front. He gets up over that curb and just gets loose. Just hard in the gas, gets loose, comes across the racetrack. Big shot into the Armco, and then it's just so narrow, Rick. There's no escape route. The 17 doesn't slide 100 feet off the racetrack. He comes back onto the racetrack. Heavy contact with the 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
There was 2 accidents that happened at the same time. The 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was sliding off the track.
Sit ahead of you here. Stay high, stay high, stay high. Back it down, stay high, stay high. You're coming
great
back
move by Casey Mears.
I can't see. Stop. There you go. You're clear right there. There's the 4-1 right in front of you.
So we saw him racing off this right here, the 17. I'm not so sure that maybe he didn't clip that curb on the right before, kind of push him way out as he was racing the car in front of him. Sorry, I can't make out who that car was that was in front of him, but I wonder if that wreck didn't actually start in the carousel. Looked like he got really low and maybe clipped that curb, and that pushed him way left, and then ultimately got loose. Back out into the racetrack. Big impact.
Because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was about to come back out on the track, a lot of guys over on the left were trying to fight for track position. On the pit road at lap 54.
And if you're Kyle Busch, you pitted on lap 54. Everybody in front of you.
Oh, big wreck again. Clint Boyer caught up in this one. 19 of Carl Edwards on the pole earlier. Now spun around. David Reagan in the 23. Chris Buescher racing against him for 30th in points to get into the chase.
Let's come fix her up.
Carl Edwards right here. Oh, it all starts with the 23 of David Reagan underneath. It looked like the 31 of Ryan Newman just got loose in the carousel. 19 and the 15 just had really nowhere to go. It's just that.
The S's. He's had Tyler Reddick there trying to take that spot away, but
we got a crash.
Whoa, trouble out here on turn number 4. Justin Haley nails one other machine. It looks to be Matt Tifft. Matt Tifft, Tyler Reddick get together, leaving turn number 4. Tifft, the 2 car, nose to nose with the 24 of Justin Haley, as both drivers have problems leaving the S's at the top of turn number 4.
I heard Mike Bagley call it live. Well, here it is, the 24 and the 2 already around at the top of the screen. That's kind of out of turn 3 into turn 4. Bagley, it's really just a shocker that only 2 are involved, as narrow as that bit of racetrack is.
Yeah, you got that right, because as you know, Stevie, when
A.J. Allmendinger running in the 6th position. And around goes Eric Almirola. He had a little contact.
You're going if you can.
Almirola in turn 7 gets turned around and backs the 10 into the wall. Caution will come out.
Caution, caution, caution.
So aggressive early on.
It was live. Ryan Blaney inside the 10 of Almirola. I'm not sure Eric knew he was there. He ran the 12 onto the curb. Blaney had nowhere to go. Contact with the 10. He spins around. Heavy damage to the tail of Eric Almirola's car.
Harmon coming out of there.
So here he is on that curb.
Oh. Overcorrected.
Yeah.
right into the Armco barrier. Wow.
And that's the thing about that painted curb, you know, especially one of the things is at a road course, if that's wet, it becomes super slippery, but they're also just a little bit more slippery than the actual asphalt surface. So, you know, the tires don't hook up on paint as well. And
out of the inner loop into the carousel. What is he going to do? He gives him a little bit of bumper. Hey, send him into the tire barrier right there. Payback from earlier. Ross Chastain in the fence.
I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, and what happened? Junior called it. He was right on his back bumper. Actually gave him a little shove there. Too much momentum for the four. Sends him into the tire barriers. And Ross Chastain's day is done.
Hold me in, did their job. The tires really were aggressive. I don't think I've ever hit tires before, so I didn't expect when I did slide into them that I thought I would just bounce off of and keep going, but they grabbed the car and destroyed it. So
two, back up through the gears they go. They'll dive into turn number one. No advantage between Bell and Allmendinger. Allmendinger off track. They spin behind him. The 11 of Haley goes around. It was a melee.
You see right here, Justin Haley, the third car closest to you on the screen, gets put 3 wide. And then right here, Briscoe from way back gets down, and they're just too deep. Makes contact, but funny, behind him there was another issue with the 8, the 19 spin. I think there was 3 separate wrecks that turned into 1 yellow.
There's no way at all Haley could have expected Briscoe to be there. You can see the aggressive moves. Briscoe just way deep in the corner. There's just no way Haley could expect that. Briscoe overdrove in the corner, got into the side of him. That's what you're going to see, though. That's road course restarts, late race road course restarts. They always get crazy.
Cindric in that 22, Jeff, doing a nice job turning left and avoiding the spinning car of Justin Haley. He went from 9th to 6th on just a few sets of corners.
The big contact for Bilicki was into the door of the 11 of Justin Haley. That's where all the damage took place, right there. They also caught the 19 of Brandon Jones.
Right here, you look, everything's fine, everything's fine. Never even sees it coming. The 98 of Briscoe gets him in the left rear, and then, oh, heavy contact.